rich persons, they are going to be richer. So all these things, they are that yama is the social discipline. And similarly, the another word is niyama. Niyam is the self-discipline. Shaucha, santosha, tapaha, ishvara pranidhanani niyama. Purity, santosha, satisfaction. All these things, tapaha, to do meditation, yoga, that all these things, they are going to benefit the individual himself. And that is why the two types of consequences have been described of the dharma. In Vaisheshika Darshan, the Vaisheshika philosopher Kanade, he says, Yato abhyudayaha nishreya siddhi sadharma. What is dharma? He says dharma is going to cause the abhyudaya, a person's social well-being, and nishreyasa, his individual well-being, his spiritual well-being. The moksha is the spiritual well-being and the prosperity in the society, the name, fame, and all these things. This is social well-being, that is known as abhyudaya. If a person follows dharma, he will have abhyudaya, the social upliftment, and ultimately he will have moksha, that is nishreyasa. And this is what is the purpose of human life in Vedic system. In no other culture or civilization of the world, the purpose of human life has been defined. All these Western philosophers, Western cultures, whatever, any cultures or any religious sects are there, they have not defined till date the purpose of the human life. But the Vedic seers, they have defined the very purpose of human life. The Western philosophy says, eat, make, and marry. That is only the purpose of human life. Long back when I was visiting USA, I was traveling from New York to Detroit by bus because I was new to US and I wanted to see this whole scenery and geographical things of the USA. So I was traveling by bus. Then when I changed the bus from Pennsylvania, some American student, he was sitting next to my seat. I started talking to him. I asked him, what are you doing? He told, I'm in 10th standard. Then I asked whether you want to study more. He told, yes, I want to study more. I asked, what will you do if you will study more? He told, if I will study more, I will earn more dollars. So that is only the purpose of education, modern education. If we will study more, we will be more wealthy, we will have more money, more dollars. So that is only the purpose of human life. But Vedic seers, they told, no, this is not the purpose of human life. Eat, mate, and marry. This can be done even by animals. And if the purpose of human life is like that of animals, then what is the difference between an animal being and a human being? So they told one word, in one single word, they defined the purpose of human life, and that word they described in Veda, that is Purushartha. Purushartha. Purush mane human being, Artha mane prayojan. The prayojan or the objective of the life of a human being, that is known as Purushartha. And what is that Purushartha? This single word comprises of four things: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. This is the purpose of human life. When you were performing Agnihotra here, you were chanting a line, He Ishwar Dayanidhe, Bhavat Kripayanenja Gopasana Adhikarmana, Dharmartha Kama Mokshanam Sadhya Siddhir Bhavedna. So, you want to achieve that purpose of human life, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. You want to achieve that purpose of human life, objective of the human life, fulfill that objective of human life. Satya Siddhi, as soon as possible, we are praying to the Brahman, to the Paramatman regarding that. So, in Vedic system, in Vedic dharma, dharma, artha, kama and moksha is the ultimate goal of the human life. So what is dharma? Again, the question comes to the same point, dharma. Dharma means in brahmacharya ashram, a student gains knowledge, all sanskaras, good sanskaras, inculcation of sanskaras. And you know, in Vedic system, 16 sanskaras are performed. In modern science, the sanskaras of the material things are done. You take the crude oil and that is refined. When the crude oil is refined, then that becomes capable of running your motor cars, aeroplanes and everything. But we want to create facility and comfort for the human beings, the modern science, modern technology through modern technology. But there is no idea of creating a good human beings. Giving birth to a child, it's very easy. But transforming a child into a good human being, it is quite difficult. It is quite a difficult job. So that is why the Vedic seers, they compartmentalized the life of human being in brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha and sannyasa ashramas. So this ashrama system, and in brahmacharya you will attain all dharma. You will learn about your duties. What are your duties? In Vedic system, there is no concept of rights. Today everybody is talking about rights. There are strikes and everything. This is human right, that is that right. But in Vedic system, there is no right. You are not required to have any right, think of any rights. But you must think of duties and duties. You must do your duty towards your family, towards your society, towards your nation, towards your environment. Everywhere a human being is required, supposed to do his duty. And if this system is adopted, everybody starts doing his duty faithfully, then nobody needs to think about his or her rights. Because everybody will be achieving his rights automatically when everybody is doing his duties automatically. So that is the ideal concept given by Vedic scholars and Vedic seers. So dharma, based upon dharma, then you will be earning artha. But today the people are earning artha by hook and by crook. Then they are investing that artha into dharma, into charity purposes. But first of all, you must earn artha as per following the path of dharma, with honesty, without exploiting others. Then the kam comes. Kams means fulfillment of the legitimate desires. Only legitimate desires you should fulfill, not whatever you think and whatever you aspire, you go for that. No, you will have to think whether it is according to the Shastra, it has been sanctioned in the Shastra, this desire or not. You can go by that desire only. And then ultimately you will pass on your life, you will proceed further for attaining moksha. And that is why in karma system also in Bhagavad Gita we have read nishkama karma, because 3 types of karmas are there. One is kamya karma, another one is nishiddha karma, and one form of karma is naimittik karma, and one is nitya karma. So nitya karma we are supposed to do daily, nitya karma. Yajna, dana, tapa and all karmas that we are doing for maintaining our life, those are all nitya karmas. Yajna, dan and tapaha, yog, these are all nitya karmas. But naimittik karmas, when we do some actions on account of some occasion, due to some nimitta, to achieve certain things, that is naimittik. Suppose You want to celebrate your birthday and you are performing the yajna to celebrate your birthday. So that is naimittika yajna. Then another karma is kamya karma. If you want to fulfill some of your desires and you want to do that action, then that is kamya karma. The Indian philosophy, the Vedas, Bhagavad Gita says, you are not supposed to do kamya karma. Sannyasa, kamyanam karmanam sannyasam. You leave all the kamya karmas. You leave all the naimittik karmas. If you want to achieve moksha, if you want to follow or proceed on the path of spirituality, you will have to abstain from all these things. And ultimately, it is said that nishkama karma is to be done. The nishkama karma applies to the nitya karmas, not these kamya or naimittik karmas, nitya karma. Even while doing this yaj, dan and tap, we may think of some selfish motive that if I do yaj, I will become prosper, I will attain name and fame and all these things. And if this type of desire is there, even while doing kamya, this nitya karmas, then Bhagavad Gita says, no, you should not have any desire for the fruits even while doing nitya karmas. So this is all Vedic dharma. And because Veda is the eternal book, how the Veda is the eternal book? Somebody, generally we think that Vedas are the holy book. Everybody says Vedas are the holy books. Why we say Vedas are holy books? Because the Christians say the Bible is the holy book. Because the Islamic people say Quran is the holy book. And we are imitating them. And we are saying, oh, our Veda is also holy book. Their holy books, they have been written by prophets, by some human beings. But this holy book has not written by anybody else. Veda means the knowledge of the creation. And who is the creator? Who is the author of creator? Brahman is the author of creator. And Veda is the theoretical aspect, is the information of that creation that exists with the Brahman. When the Brahman, he creates this entire universe, its knowledge also comes into being in the universe. At the time the universe was created. Just like an engineer is there, he is going to manufacture a machine. Then the knowledge of the machine belongs to that engineer, not anybody else. And that engineer, when he makes the machine, the knowledge of the machine, it comes into being at the very moment the machine is created in the universe. Similarly, when Brahman, because this knowledge, how the engineer makes a machine, first of all, he will have some blueprint in his mind, idea in his mind. Then he will translate that idea into some paper in the form of some planning, design, and then he will create it. So what is Veda? Veda is the blueprint of creation in the mind of Brahman. And as per this blueprint, the Brahman creates this universe. In Vaisheshika Darshan, Kanada says, Buddhi Purva Vakya Kritir Vede. He says, in Vedas, every sentence has been written by applying mind. Because whatever is there in the universe, the same thing has been described in the Veda. And accordingly, he says, the creator of this universe and the author of this Veda must be the one person, because Veda says the same thing what is available in the creation. So this is how the Veda is the eternal. When the creation took place, it existed in the universe, and in the beginning of the human creation itself, the four rishis, Agni, Vayu, Aditya, and Angira, they imbibed these Samhitas. They existed in the form of vibrations, and they received this knowledge and presented to further beings. They presented this knowledge from these four rishis. Brahma gained the knowledge, and from Brahma the other seers, they gained this knowledge, and this knowledge has come to us. Nobody can create a mantra. Let me tell you, nobody can write has the howsoever biggest scholar is, he cannot write even a single mantra of Veda, because the mantra is so complex. It is fitted with swara system, udatta, anudatta and swarita. Nobody can write a poem with this swara system, so there is no possibility of interpolation into the Vedic mantras. There may be some degeneration while we are pronouncing. We may pronounce wrong way. That is possibility, but there is no possibility of interpolation. But other books, now I am coming to the point, the difference between Vedic dharma and Sanatan dharma. I told there is no difference between Vedic dharma and Sanatan dharma as we say. Because Ved is eternal and Sanatan means Sadatana, the eternal. So, Ved is eternal and Sanatana dharma is also, it points out to the Vedic dharma itself. But where the point of difference comes? The point of difference comes with the followers. There are certain beings or followers who are saying, first of all, they used to say, we are Hindus. Then Swami Dayananda told them that you are Pauranikas because you follow Puranas. And there is a certain group that was created by Swami Dayananda that was known as Arya Samaj. Swami Dayananda from the very beginning he said that our dharma is not Hindu dharma. Our dharma is the Vedic dharma. In the census of 1881, when Britishers were doing the census of India, they inserted certain columns in the census. And one column was of dharma, religion, and another column was your race. So then Swami Dayananda, he issued a notification to all persons in India, particularly Arya Samajis, that whenever the column of dharma comes or religion comes, you must write Vedic. We are Vedic people. And whenever the question of race comes, then we are the Aryans. We are not Hindus. We are not Muslims, Sikhs or Jains. Because even saying Hindu word, you have the foreign etymology. Hindu words comes from Persian language. When we say Indian, even then we have the foreign etymology, because the word Indian comes from the Greek word. But the Vedic is the pure Indian term, pure Vedic term, and this word, it stretches our civilization to hundreds of thousands of years back to the beginning of universe, to the beginning of creation itself, because this knowledge existed in the beginning of the creation itself. So, Swami Dayananda told that we are Vedic, and after that there was a separation. And in Satyarth Prakash, Swamiji wrote 4 chapters, last 4 chapters, he devoted last 4 chapters, not to criticize any dharma, but for the reformation's sake he wrote. He writes that my sole aim is that there should be reformation in all these religious sects, mat and matantara. Swami Dayananda never write a word dharma for religion. Mat and matantara, he says. So for those mat and matantaras, he told, there needs to be some reformation. Even the Hindu mat also, in Jain mat also, he talked about certain reformation. So within these followers, the differences exist. So what the Pauranika says, earlier they used to say that we are Pauranikas, we follow Puranas. Now they started saying that we are Hindus. They never tried to use the term Vedic because this term was used by Swami Dayananda. Now they have adopted a new parlance, the Sanatana. In fact, Vedic word itself Sanatana, and Pauranic is not Sanatan, because Ved is Sanatana. Ved is eternal, Puranas are not eternal. So what is the difference? The Vedic followers, they say that Ved is the final book, that is the authority. Homo mensura svata praman. And rest of the books, because they have been written by human beings, by seers, so the authority of the rest of the books, that depends upon the Veda. If their contents, they are going to be verified by some Vedic mantra or the contents of the Vedas, we will think that these books are authentic. If their contents are not verified by the Vedas, we do not consider those books as the authentic books. Similarly, Vedic follow, because why the difference in the followers? The difference is of interpretations. The fact is one. Earth is earth. This is a fact. But the interpretation, different of interpretation is there. In the beginning, in the 13th century, 14th century, 15th century, there were some persons who used to say earth is flat. Then Galileo and other scientists, they came and they told earth is round. So there was a conflict between scientists and between the Christianity. But Vedic people, from the very beginning, they told Bhugola. There was no dispute. Bhugol means Bhu means earth, Gol means spherical. We told Kha means space, Gol means spherical. The whole space is Gol, whole space is spherical. This earth is spherical, all planets are spherical. So there was no problem. But problem comes, I told, with the interpretation. During that time, by the time of Swami Dayananda, the Indian society, the Bharatiyas, they forget about their culture and civilization. They started misinterpretation of their culture and civilization. Why they started? Because this work was done by Christians. Muslims, when they invaded India, they destroyed the Indian knowledge system, our entire knowledge system. They burnt down books in Taxila, Vikramshila, all universities. They burnt the entire literature, destroyed. But when the Britishers came, when the Europeans came, they were very much impressed by our literature. They carried away all manuscripts to the foreign countries. Even in European libraries, you will find crores, millions of Indian manuscripts carried by Britishers, Europeans who came to India. But what they did with us, they distorted the things. We told dharma as moral education system, moral and ethical values. They told dharma is religion, so they changed the meaning. We were talking about yajna, they told yajna is sacrifice. We were talking about Purushmedha, Ashwamedha yajnas, they told Ashwamedha is horse sacrifice, Purushmedha is human sacrifice. So they distorted everything and we started believing them. That was a problem, and this is the difference between the followers of Vedic Dharma and between the followers of the Sanatana Dharmas. During that time of Swami Dayananda, you will be surprised to know, Swami Dayananda had a big Shastrarth with all the Pandits in Kashi, and he emerged victorious. By that time, the entire intelligentsia of India, they were looking towards Britishers, Europeans, as their mentors. They were all eulogizing the Britishers, the Europeans, as the great persons. But only one person was there. All Pandits of Kashi, they were bowing before the Britishers as their mentors. But only one person was there in 19th century, and that was Swami Dayananda. He never went to any Western university. He was not the graduate of Oxford or Harvard or Cambridge. He was pure Indian. He was authentically Indian of Indians. He never studied. the foreign philosophers, foreign philosophy. He never knew the English language, but he was talking, everybody was talking about that the progress of India is, the path of the progress of India passes through the West. But Swami Dayananda used to say that the path of the progress of India, it passes through the India itself. He was acting as a sun which was having his own light. And on the other hand, Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Vivekananda, and all those scholars, they were acting as the moon who wanted to attain light from the West, because for them West was the sun. So this is the basic difference. Vedic dharma avalambi, Vedic followers, they believed in the Varna system, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. But Sanatanis, they believed in the caste system. The caste system is by birth, but Varna system is by your sanskaras. If you are born with the sanskar of a Brahman, intellectual, you will be known as a Brahman. If you have been born with the sanskar of a Kshatriya, you will be known as a Kshatriya. If you are born with the sanskar of a Vaishya, doing trading person, you will be known as a Vaishya. And if you are born with the sanskar of a Shudra, then you will be known as a Shudra. So even a Shudra parent may have a Brahman child. Even the Brahman parent may have a Shudra child. So this is the basic difference between the followers of the Sanatan Dharma and the followers of the Vedic Dharma. We do not believe the caste system. And Maharshi Dayananda Saraswati, in the 19th century itself, he criticized this caste system, and this caste system has become the cause of downfall of India presently also. That is the biggest hurdle in the progress of our country. One more thing, the Sanatani followers, they believe that the Brahman takes birth, avatar. They associate the avatar, the word avatar with the Brahman. They think that Krishna, Ram, they were the avatar of the Brahman. But Vedic followers, they don't believe that, because there is no need for the Brahman to take birth. He is the controller, he is the efficient cause, and if the Brahman is going to take birth, he is a Nirakar and all-pervading. His all-pervading power will be limited. He will confine to some local place, and he will be no more a all-pervading power. So his power is different, Brahman is different, and the Sanatani followers philosophically think that this Atma is Brahman. Every human being is Brahman, they think so. But the followers of Veda, they think that Atma is different and Brahman is different. Why? Because Atma has the limited knowledge, Brahman is all knowledgeable thing, he is all powerful, he is all knowledgeable. So if Atma is Brahman, then everybody should have all knowledge. Why a person should be the ignorant one? Why one person is intelligent, another is not intelligent? Because of the sanskar, what we gain, because this human race is karma yoni, and other yonis, other species, they are bhoga yoni. They will have to bear the fruit of the karmas done by them in their past life. But in human life, we are going to bear the fruits of the karmas we have done in the past, as well as we can do new karmas also, just to elevate ourselves to the higher pedestal. So this is the difference between Sanatana system, Sanatani followers and Vedic followers. We think a human being, after achieving moksha, he merges with the Brahman. But the soul has a separate entity. Soul is not Brahman. But they say, I am Atma Brahman. Our interpretations are different. When the Upanishad says, I am Atma Brahman, I am Atma is Brahma, so we say this Atma is Brahma. Means Atma is Brahma and the Paramatma is Parabrahma. So, according to the Vedic system, Brahma is the name of Atma. And in that context, Ishwar will be Parabrahma. So, these are the differences at philosophical level. Even we have differences worshipping at worship level also. The Sanatani followers think that the best way of worshipping Ishvara is worshipping his idols. But Vedic followers think the best way of worshipping God is yajna and meditation. Yoga and yajna, these are the two things. So why? Because if we are worshipping some idol as a Brahman, first of all, we are confining the all prevailing power of Brahman to one place. Another way, this even Vedantis, even Shankara says, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, this whole world is false. It's not eternal because it's always changing. And if anything is always changing, transforming always, then that is not Satya, that is not truth, that is not eternal. Brahma is not changing, it is evergreen, so that is eternal. And if we are going to Shankar himself, he criticized Murti Puja in his Gita Bhashya. He says, because Murti Puja, it started with the Buddhist persons, not with the Vedic people. In ancient time, there was no Murti Puja. First of all, Buddhists started it, then Jain people, they started it, then Hindus, they adopted it, and now they have crossed them. They are the big Murti Pujaks. And what we say, Devalaya, according to the Vedic followers, Devalaya means observatory. Dev means the astronomical objects. All these heavenly bodies, these sun, nakshatras, they are known as Devas. But for Sanatani followers, Dev is a deity that has been installed in some particular temple. So according to the Vedic followers, the mandir or Devalaya is the observatory for the study of cosmos, astronomy. Just like for Vedic followers, the Mahakal temple of Ujjain is an observatory where the 0 degree longitude used to exist during Vedic time, prime meridian. During European invasion, the French people, they took it away in France, and then Britishers, they shifted it to Greenwich. Now Greenwich is the prime meridian, and according to the Greenwich, the latitude and longitude of the entire globe is fixed. But during Vedic period, the Mahakal means biggest time determination factor. That was not the temple for worshipping Shiva. That was the time determination system. So according to those Vedic followers, we used to study the nakshatras and grahas, astronomy, Jyotish we call. And today the followers of Sanatanis, they say Vedic astrology. There is no such word like astrology. Swami Dayananda very clearly defined the things astrology and astronomy. Astronomy is pure mathematics and astrology is Phalita, Jyotish. That does not exist even in Sangitas. Even Vedanga Jyotish is there, written by Lagad Muni. There is no even single hint of astrology in Vedanga Jyotish. You leave Vedanga Jyotish, you come to Surya Siddhant. Maharishi Dayananda has quoted Surya Siddhant. There is not even a single word associated for astrology in Surya Siddhant. The word astrology came to India under the influence of the Egyptians and the Greek astrologers, and we adopted it. So for Sanatani followers, there is astrology, they are doing astrology, but the Vedic scholars, they used to do astronomy, and still we are doing astronomy. So these are the basic differences between Sanatani followers and the Vedic followers. Vedic followers, we say that whatever is rational, whatever is logical, whatever is scientific, we are ready to accept it. But the Sanatani follower says, Maharishi Dayananda used a word, Baba Vakya Pramanam. What has been said by Baba or Guru, that is authority. That should be accepted blindly, and do sak dandavat pranam to that Guru and accept it. There is no system of questioning. Just like there is a school student going in a school, primary school, high school, but there are students in college, in the universities. They will raise questions, but the school student, he will not raise any question. So Sanatani followers, they are just like the school students. Their level of intelligence is the level of that student of the school, and that follower of Veda, their level of intelligence is that level of college or the university student. So these are the basic differences. Everywhere there are differences. Even the system, they think there are so many gods and goddesses existing in this universe. But there is one single Brahman, there is one single Ishvara. There cannot be two Ishvaras, there cannot be two gods in this system. What are the god and goddesses? The Vedic, according to the Vedic followers, there are two types of god and goddesses. The living gods and goddesses, and the lifeless gods and goddesses. The living gods and goddesses are Matri Devo Bhava, Pitri Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. Your parents, your mother is the living goddess with you. Your father is the living God with you. And Acharya Devo Bhava. Your Guru, the Acharya, is the living God with you. And lifeless gods, this sun, moon, all these nakshatras, these grahas, these are lifeless gods. And what is Devata? For Sanatanis, Devatas are these Vishnu and Shiva and all these Dev and Devata is the same. For Vedic scholars, Deva eva Devata. Devata means the subject matter of the mantra, that is known as a Devata. Suppose some Devata of the mantra is Vishnu. So Vishnu is the subject matter of that mantra. So according to the Vedic followers, Devata is the subject matter of the mantra or the Veda, and according to the Sanatani followers, Devata is some deity sitting in the church, temple, Hindu church. So that is the difference between the Sanatani followers. The Vedic followers, they want to present Vedas in their truthful nature, that in proper way. Whatever is lost now, we want to revive that back. But the Sanatani followers, they want to follow that interpolated, that distorted system as the best one, and they are trying to defend it, but they always fail to defend that. Because when other persons, they attack Hinduism, they cannot answer all those things. According to the Vedic followers, the stories, what we call as mythology, every human being, all scholars in the world, they started saying Hindu mythology, but the Vedic followers, they say whatever story is there, whether the story is of Anusuya, Ram, or any Prajapati's 27 daughters marrying with Chandrama, all these stories, either they have some scientific basis, the story of Samudra Manthan, either they have some scientific basis, and if there is no scientific basis, that is not the valid Gatha, that is not the valid Itihasa. So, but these Sanatani followers think that these are the valid story, and they think Samudra Manthan took place somewhere in Pacific Ocean, and then this Chandrama, Airavat, Hathi, Amrita, Dhanvantri came out. But Vedic followers think that this earth is revolving round its axis from east to west daily. And this Antariksha Veda is known as Samudra. So this earth's rotation around its axis in the Samudra is taking place daily. So daily Samudra Manthan is going on, churning of the ocean is going on, and this earth in the Vedic parlance is known as Meru. Its north pole is known as Sumeru, south pole is known as Kumeru, and this Vasuki Nag, because Vasuki Nag is also there in Samudra Manthan, this equator, the equatorial regions, they are known as Vasuki Nag because the maximum population of human beings is inhabiting these equatorial regions, not the polar regions. So there were Suraj and Asuras because the earth rotates from west to east. So west direction, that is known as Asura direction, the east direction in Surya Siddhant, that is known as Surya direction. So from Asur to Sur, this whole process is going on, and this Chandrama then was created, the moon. When the night falls, the moon comes out. The Airavat Hathi came out. What is Airavat Hathi? In astronomy, our galaxy is known as Airavat elephant, then galaxy became visible. Then Lakshmi came out, this dawn period came out, then Amrit came out. Amrit is the sunlight, when sunlight takes place, which is Tamasoma, Jyotirgamaya, Mrityurma, Amritam Gamaya. Then this Amrit came out, Vish also came out. Vish means darkness, and that Vish was swallowed by Shiva. The setting sun is known as Shiva, the rising sun is known as Agni. So this is how we want to find out the scientific truth behind all these stories. And if some scientific truth is there, the Vedic followers say, we accept this story, and if there is no scientific truth, we say we do not accept this story. So this is the level of thinking, the scientific temperament, scientific awareness. Even in modern science, today everybody says the modern world is the scientifically advanced world. I don't think that we are living in the scientifically advanced world. We are living technologically advanced world, but not scientifically advanced world. But the Vedic followers, they are scientifically aware persons. They used to live in scientifically advanced world. Why? If we would have lived today in the scientifically advanced world, we would not have created the technology that is not eco-friendly, that is creating the mess of the entire universe, and even the existence of the human being is at risk, because while developing that technology, we never thought of its consequences, whether it would be benefiting us benefiting ecologically. We are just after money, because that technology will be earning us money, so we are developing that. So the condition, the thinking level is different. In Vedic followers, they think that human being takes birth again and again. But these Western people, the Christians, the Islamic people, they think only once a human being takes life. So they think, if I'll die, let everybody die. If I'm going to be destroyed, let everybody should be destroyed, because there is no next life. But in our philosophy, there is a next life. And if you think that in the same house you are going to stay again, you will maintain it well. But if you are thinking, no, after I leave it, it's useless, I am not going to come here again, you may defile it also. So this is the attitude, this is the system that we have in Vedic system of thought. So this, it's very big issue. At every point we can have debate regarding the difference between Vedic followers and the Sanatani followers. So we should not say the difference between Vedic dharma and Sanatan dharma is the same. They think that the Puranas are the ultimate. They think Vedas are also the Puranas. Puranas are the part of the Vedas. No. Puranas have been written by simple human beings, and even Bhavishya Puran you will find the reference of Akbar, Babur and Humayun. You will find the reference because when these Muslims came, Muslim invaders came, forcibly they forced the Pandits and they told that you write my eulogy in your Puran, and they had to write. Even when these Britishers came, they gave money to our scholars and they told you just distort the facts, you write, you interpolate. And they started writing shlokas. Earlier Mahabharata had only 8,000 slokas. Then the number of slokas increased to 24,000. Now it has 1 lakh slokas. So all this is interpolations, nothing. So if you want to find out the truth, you must be an intelligent person. You must know your philosophy better, then only you will be able to find out what is right and what is wrong. If you are a layman and you have started studying Mahabharata, Ramayana and Purana and any translation of the late translations, then you will get confused. That is why Swami Dayananda told, don't go for those books because there are so many interpolations. Yes, if those books have been interpreted by some good Vedic scholar, you can go because you will find the truth over there. So, this is the difference. This is the main difference, and I think the main difference between the thinking is also the 10 commandments of the Arya Samaj. These 10 commandments should be the 10 principles adopted by you and me. Today, the dire need is the coexistence of human beings. We see everywhere war is there, struggle is there, bloodshed is there. Everybody is killing everybody else. So how the human beings will coexist? There must be some law, there must be some principle, there must be some guidelines. And that guidelines comes through the Arya Samaj. Maharishi Dayananda. Every principle is not the principle of Arya Samaj, is the principle required and essential for the coexistence of human beings. Swami Dayananda says, सबकी भलाई में अपनी भलाई समझनी चाहिए. Your well-being lies in the well-being of the entire society. If you think I'll kill him and I'll survive, it's not possible. Everybody wants to live in a good gentry. Why? Because if you think, no, let me only the noble person, and you are surrounded by dacoits, terrorists, they won't let you live happily. So, सबकी भलाई में आपकी अपनी भलाई समझनी चाहिए. And one principle, very good principle, Swami Dayananda says, because a human being is living in a society, is a social being. He says, अपने इंटरेस्ट में, अपने लिए सबको स्वतंत्र, अपने हित में सबको स्वतंत्र होना चाहिए और सर्वहितकारी नियम पालने में सबको परतंत्र होना चाहिए. So far as your self-interest is concerned, you are free to do what you like. But so far as the interest of the society, entire society is concerned, you are not do freely anything. You will have to give space to the other persons so that they may also survive along with you. And this is the real crux of the dharma. I told samajik dharma, social dharma, individual dharma. For your individual benefit, you can do anything. But so far as the benefit of others is also concerned, you will have to sacrifice. You will have to sacrifice some of your interest, because others will also have to survive. Lastly, I will say, the modern science, the philosophy of the modern science say survival of the fittest. There is a struggle, and a human being who are stronger, who are powerful, they are going to survive. So, the struggle for the survival is going on in the entire globe, on the entire. And that is why a concept of clashes of civilization has also been given by the modern philosophers. And there is one more good philosophy, that philosophy says, so here the survival means struggle is there, and you can survive if you are powerful. Another philosophy is there, it says live and let live. You also survive and let others also survive. That philosophy goes to the Buddhism. Buddhism says you live and let others also live. Don't say any other things. But the philosophy of Veda, what is the philosophy of Veda? Philosophy of Veda says live and help others to live. You live and help others who are not able to survive. You are also help them to live. This is the climax of thinking, and I think no philosophical thinking go beyond it. This is the full stop. This is the climax of thinking, and at this thinking level also the whole world can survive, the humanity can survive, even animism, animals can survive, because this is the philosophy, altruistic philosophy. I think I have taken a lot of time, and I'm going to conclude and take leave. Thank you.